Have you ever played a game, stopped vibing with it about halfway through, but ended up finishing it anyway because you'd already invested 15 hours and paid full price? If that's ever happened to you, you're a victim of what's called the sunk cost fallacy. And you're not alone. Because that's exactly what happened to me playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I didn't finish the game because I was having fun, I finished it because I felt like I had to. And when the credits rolled, I didn't feel accomplished. I just felt relieved I could finally put it back on the shelf and move on. It's not that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a bad game. It just wasn't clicking for me. But instead of walking away, I let the time, effort, and money I already invested trap me into finishing it, even though I would have been way happier playing something else. But here's the thing. The sunk cost fallacy isn't just a gaming problem. It shows up everywhere, in relationships, jobs, and projects, and it keeps us stuck way longer than we should be. So today, I want to talk about what Final Fantasy VII Rebirth taught me about letting go, and how recognizing sunk costs might actually help you enjoy life a little more. This is What I Learned Playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The sunk cost fallacy is when you continue a course of action just because you've already invested a lot of time, money, effort, or emotion into it, even when stopping would be the better option. In the case of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I succumbed far too easily to the sunk cost fallacy. Because even though the first half of the game was a bit of a slog for me, I felt like I had invested too much time and money into it to just walk away. Not to mention that my sunk cost extended beyond the 15 hours I spent playing Rebirth, because I already invested 40 hours into completing the Final Fantasy VII Remake before it. So now I wasn't just trying to finish Rebirth for the sake of it, I was finishing it to justify my previous time investment too. It's a sunk cost on top of a sunk cost. So it's basically an emotional extortion pyramid scheme. In reality, the only thing I should have sunk in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was the cruise ship that took Cloud and the gang to Costa del Sol. Because if I knew the torture of playing a Queen's Blood tournament on the cruise ship was going to be followed by forced minigames where you return segways and play Rocket League as Red 13, I would have had Cloud go all Mako Reactor 1 on it. And what's your reward for all these minigames that grind the narrative to a screeching halt? A few swimsuits. Oh, I guess a few minigames never hurt anyone, right? So why do we fall for the sunk cost fallacy? Well, it's simple. We don't like wasting things, especially time, money, or effort. And when we've already invested those items into something, it hurts to walk away from it. So instead, we double down, convincing ourselves that sticking with it will somehow make that loss worth it. But the truth is, those costs are called sunk for a reason. They're gone. That $70 I spent on Rebirth? Gone. The 15 hours of gameplay? Gone. And investing more of my time running around throwing boxes as Kate Sith or dealing with whatever BS Chadley's cooking didn't recover those sunk costs. It just made me burn more of my precious time. And being able to recognize that can actually help you in more than just video games. There are people who stay in jobs they hate, relationships that aren't working, or projects they've outgrown, not because they're fulfilling, but because they've already invested so much. You'll hear stuff like, "I've already put in 15 years here, why would I leave now?" Or, "We've been together for so long, starting over would be hard." Now look, I'm not a relationship counselor, so don't go making life choices off a YouTube video. But if the only reason you're still with someone is because of how long you've been together, that's probably not fair to either of you. But I do completely understand that quitting something you've invested a lot of time, energy, and effort into is not easy. My little rant about wasting 15 hours on a video game is nothing compared to what some people go through in real life. And walking away from that takes serious courage. Because regret, anger, and grief are all emotions that are closely tied to the realization that your investment is gone. If there's one thing to take from this video, let it be this. Just because you've invested in something doesn't mean you should keep going. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is walk away. Not as a failure, but as someone who values their future more than their past. Letting go of sunk costs doesn't mean you lost. It means you're making space for something better. Even if that something is just a better game to play. And that's it. How much time did you sink into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? And was it a sunk cost or not? If you liked what you saw today, I'd love for you to subscribe and come back for the next one. Until then, see you around.